Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, here we are.
All right. Well, I'm writing up a story about that commissioners meeting from last week. A couple of the videos went viral. Just wanted to get both sides of the story before I write it up. I try to do that much. Obviously, you were there.
Yes.
And would you say a majority of the crowd was against mandates and forced vaccinations?
The majority of the crowd, yes.
Okay. I believe I counted out of about 2 to 3 hours of public opinion. There was one that wanted the vaccine, couldn't find it, one that was pro-mask at the end, but everything else, other than 2 people that asked about money, was against, all the mandates, there was no science, all that other stuff. Anyway, so with the overwhelming majority of people in Clark County being against mandates, I noticed that you kind of doubled down on your social media and you're actually pushing forced vaccinations and pushing for more passports and vaccine passports and stuff like that. I just kind of wanted to know why.
Well, because I've been in politics for I'm 73, so I've been in politics since I worked at the White House in 1977. And I know that just because there's a crowd of people talking about something, that really doesn't necessarily represent what the average person or the average voter wants. And so I feel I have a good sense of the pulse of the community, and people want people to be vaccinated. And whatever it takes, if we have to do passports, if you have to do it, or you're going to be fired. That's the voters that I know. That's what they want.
The voters you know, but no one in that room really wanted that, right?
No, but remember, that was an organized protest. That was not just people just showed up.
It was an organized protest.
We couldn't even vote for that stuff. That wasn't even on the agenda. And the government mandated masks already.
Do you have issues with the constitutionality of vaccine passports and forced vaccinations? It seems to be against the Constitution, and as an elected official, it is kind of your job to defend it.
I don't think it's against the Constitution. I think the Constitution allows it. And we require vaccines when you go to school. So, I mean, the reality is, if somebody doesn't want to work or doesn't want to go to a restaurant or something, that is their constitutional right. But as far as being vaccinated or as far as going to public school or going to a public meeting or going to a restaurant, we can require that they be vaccinated.
You could require it under what law?
I assume it under public health.
What about medical freedom, religious, conscientious objection? There's things in the Constitution you can't, and on top of the fact, this isn't FDA approved, it's still experimental, and you haven't addressed, there's people with natural immunity, and they're being forced to take a vaccine that's going to have side effects when they have natural immunity. What's your stance on that?
I would say, that's the price we have to pay.
That's the price we have to pay our freedom? Okay. What about the issue people brought up that you broke your own mask mandate the weekend before at a pub crawl?
I didn't. The mask mandate was if you're outside, you don't have to wear a mask, which we weren't doing. And if you're in a bar, you're allowed to drink. You can take your mask off and drink. And if you're in a restaurant, you can take your mask off and eat. So
it's not about safety, it's just about compliance? What's different? What's the difference between drinking and wearing a mask? And obviously, what about the science that has come out that masks don't work? In fact, they can cause bacterial pneumonia. They can cause a lot of issues, and it's also a freedom of will thing.
There's no science to that effect.
There's no science. Well, I can send you some science. Fauci himself wrote a paper on it.
Anyway, masks work.
Masks don't work, actually.
Okay. Well, anyway, we can debate that, I guess.
So you're going to go against the will of pretty much everyone in your own county and the Constitution and science, and you're going to push forced vaccinations on human beings with an untested product. Is that your final stance?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Douche.